Look at the goaltenders might go at it. Here we go. Brent Johnson with DiPietro. I want to see it. Here we go.
Hit him with a lefty puck. No, you hit him. He's not going to hit him again. But he's going to hold him down and not let him up.
Well, he hammered him good.
And the 2009 Calder Trophy is awarded to Steve Mason, Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wow, jeez.
Whatever happened with Steve Mason? In doing research for this video, I knew that Steve Mason had won the Calder Trophy. I figured it was one of those fluke wins. Just like a few weeks ago I had done the video on Barrett Jackman, but looking at the stats that Mason put up in his rookie season and throughout his career leaves me puzzled as to why he only played 10 seasons and retired. Steve Mason was drafted in the 3rd round, 69th overall, nice, in the 2006 NHL entry draft by the Columbus Blue Jackets. This only after playing 12 games in the OHL for the London Knights. Rather than being called up too soon, Mason stayed for the next 2 seasons in the OHL for further seasoning, which was the right move. With solid goals against average and great save percentage, Mason would capture OHL Goaltender of the Year in 2007, and the following year he would become an OHL champion and go on to win World Junior Championship gold with Canada, becoming the best goaltender of the tournament and winning the tournament's most valuable player. Mason would make his pro debut in the 2008-2009 season, playing 3 games for Syracuse in the AHL, and playing an astonishing 61 games for the Columbus Blue Jackets as a rookie goaltender, posting a goals against average of 2.29, a save percentage of .916, and 10 shutouts. He would go on to win the Calder Trophy in a landslide by outvoting Bobby Ryan and Christopher Stieg. And this is kind of where I thought his story ended. I figured he would just drop off the face of the planet, his stats would go down, and he would just be another forgotten goaltender. But looking at the numbers, he had an amazing career, and nobody really knew about it. His numbers would take a slight dip in his sophomore season and the season after that, but they were still pretty good for a goaltender in Columbus. But in a shortened 2012-2013 season, due to the NHL lockout, Mason would only appear in 13 games for the Blue Jackets, posting a goal against average of 2.95, but a disappointing save percentage of .899. He was dealt at the deadline to the Philadelphia Flyers, where he finished out the rest of the season appearing in 7 games, but posting a strong 1.9 goals against average and a .944 save percentage. After that, Mason would sign a 1-year contract extension worth $1.5 million. He would appear in 61 games for the Flyers, and it looked like he was the Steve Mason of old, posting a goals against average of 2.5 and a save percentage of .917. He would also manage to get 4 shutouts and appear in 5 playoff games with the Flyers that season. In 2014-15, he would sign a 3-year, $12.5 million contract extension with the Flyers, and continue his strong play in net, posting great numbers for those next 3 years. At the end of his run with Philadelphia, he was left an unrestricted free agent and signed a 2-year deal with the Winnipeg Jets. During the 2017-18 season, he would only appear in net 13 times for the Jets, with a goals against average of 3.24, a .906 save percentage, and 1 shutout. It seemed like he never quite found his footing in Winnipeg, and after the season had finished, he was traded to the Montreal Canadiens for basically nothing. And minutes after acquiring, the Canadiens sent him on waivers in order to buy out his contract. Mason's contract was not picked up by another team, thus making him a free agent once again. Astonishingly enough, no other team opted to pick him up, so Steve Mason opted to retire from playing and returned to his hometown of Oakville, Ontario, to serve as the Director of Goalie Development for the Oakville Rangers, a youth team in his hometown. It's very strange that Steve Mason was not picked up by another team. He was clearly a well-decorated goalie, winning World Junior Gold and the Calder Trophy. It was unfortunate that he did have to play with teams like Columbus, Philadelphia, and a young Winnipeg Jets team. But his career wasn't all that bad, playing in 476 NHL games with a goals against average of 2.7 and a save percentage of .911 and earning 34 career shutouts. I went into this video thinking that Mason was one of those fluke guys who won the Calder Trophy and then never made a blip on the map ever again, to now thinking, what the hell went wrong? Why wasn't this guy picked up by another team? Even as a backup, he would have been a great player. But it's just one of those mysteries.
It's all time hockey.